faithful followers of astrology and the wisdom of cosmos. As always, when I make these videos, it's because it's definitely some intense times. I think today the things I'd like to talk about would be the fact that Pluto has definitely returned to 29 degrees and what that's about. The new moon that's going to be in Gemini, that's going to be coming up in just a few days. I think maybe like 3 or 4 days, but it's conjuncting, or I'm sorry, it's squaring up to Neptune, meaning sending this kind of foggy intuition and how to navigate that, because I have a wonderful concept, because I seem to have these things occur first before they really occur to the collective. And then something personal, how it is that the North Node and my Chiron, Jupiter's going to conjunct my Chiron. I said that in a few of my past vlogs that I did on the beach. By the way, I always come out here because I feel it's a place that I don't know, like my mind is so clear that I get what the universe is saying. So I just want to say I've tried to do a few videos, but they didn't flow the way that I feel like this one's going to flow. Besides, there's a whole much to say, and it's the weekend. It's Friday here. Hopefully I'm gonna get this video out to you today, but it's just something to think about as we go, because just right behind me, this wonderful pink band that you see here, it's the biggest sightings for where the turtles are nesting, and so it's blocked off so people doesn't get trampled on and these babies make it. That's a definite good way to look at where we are with dreams in our life at the moment. And how it is that we're actually beginning that incubation process. I don't know if you've been following my videos. That's definitely what I told you that the summer is going to be leading to. Last week Saturn had begun the retrograde process, and usually when Saturn stops, a lot of materialistic things that we're creating are going to actually just be on pause and sort of be reflected. So the frustrations are about to occur now when you try to go forward, and I want you to not think about them as frustrations. What they are just ways that we make the changes necessary and we get the mindsets ready. It's going to be a summer because of the fact that Venus is going to be retrograded, while Mars at the same time is also in Leo. So Venus and Leo retrograding, Mars and Leo are together right now, heating up the place everywhere. I'm sure it's a great summer anyway. I'm sure if you're looking for fun, it's a hot summer. Anyway, just because Venus is involved in wonderful Leo, who's not going to take any less than a party. But those are the wonderful times right now. I'd like to say this, going into Pluto at 29 degrees, well, now that we had just proceeded to 0 degrees of Aquarius, and from like that March to, I would say, even up to like the first week of June or so, you literally saw like how the world has just turned into these different concepts, and certain things are just a big topic, and I know I had followed some of those ridiculous concepts that has occurred, like, I don't want to get into anything politics, that's not what my channel's about, but all those different things that affected other people, now they're having some sort of a repeal about it, or just a response to it, and that's what those retrogrades mean, response. And so I'll get into something actually really fun. So over the Jupiter conjuncting the North Node, which was like about 3 degrees of Jupiter and 3 degrees of the North Node, that was a huge ass freaking weekend of my life that it just like took me in. And if I could just ever imagine that I would have like such a big window into the future of what the North Node could do, that day definitely did that. I took a trip to Epcot and I had an amazing time, and just the company I had was just really just a great time, and I got to be my child self. I got to be my adult self. I got to be responsible. I got to be reckless. I did all of those things. And, anyway, I'd like to say, so moving back to 29 degrees, you know, prior to that, I don't know if I said it, it was just like this new moon at 29 degrees of Aries that occurred like in April or so. That it was in my 5th house of fun and friends and different things like that. So I literally saw like what that new moon eclipse really was trying to bring into my life by the time it had reached the North Node. And so I implore you to just kind of look into your life to see where you were within the weekends of May 31st and June 4th. Just to see what had occurred, because there's a good chance that within that week pattern, that's where it is that your life probably would have given you a sneak peek. And the reason why it's just a sneak peek and not the real deal is that we have to now come into what we have to, I guess, subject ourselves to, you know, which things we're dropping away to achieve this new concept that's about to occur into our life. And for some people, I believe it's definitely a big breakthrough. It could definitely be the part of yourself that comes into being, which now takes us into this new moon in Gemini, and it's going to be squaring up to Neptune. So a lot of people are, you know, are afraid of the Neptune story, and I get that. It is deceptive. And here's the way that I think that Neptune should be looked at, just because Neptune is in my 1st house. Neptune is sort of like a movie screen passing by, a fog passing by. Neptune's not here to stay. However, what Neptune does kind of brings into notion is a little bit of electricity, a little bit of warm moisture, so this way like life can happen sometimes. But sometimes in that fog you can have a situation that you are aware of, but suddenly the fog comes around and you see the situation flipped. Well, the situation flipped sometimes is not always a flip situation in the way, but in a real situation of the perspective of the other side of something, and then you get to walk away with that knowledge of what it is that Neptune was really uncovering, because it's sort of like water and gas just bringing things up, you know. And another part to this would be this, and this happened to me, so I have to say that this could be true. A lot of times whenever you have the deepest parts of yourselves at any given point in yourself, you know, the conditions that we carry as a human being, you know, whether what we live, what we do, our limitations, it sets us to where it is, where our goals are, and we totally make our choices based upon those circumstantial things. But in Neptune, if it brings things up, what it also does is bring things up on the inside of our lives. And so, you know, if Neptune's a dream, a fog, an idea, a passing phase, sometimes the deepest part of ourselves escape the rigidity and the place that we've placed it, because it's not reality. Well, that non-reality aspect that we put to ourselves is sometimes what our heart is calling us to. So I would employ someone, if you are so in a place to where it is that you can get into yourself, or you have a moment where you're not being mindfully bogged down by another person, and just have those moments to yourself. That information will definitely get to you of what it is that is. So I want to say that though the Neptune fog does come along, and it does give this square to the moon, that it's about the dreams of your heart of a dream. And I just wanted to say, if you've ever studied a lot of concepts about how water and the heart and the mind and all those things work together to your own, like, your own fruition of yourself. This is where that happens, where it is that yourself discovers, what is that thing that sparks that life to come back into yourself and your life. So I just want to say you can use Neptune in an amazing way. Just know that it's quite possible that whatever is occurring to you in that very moment is a possibility of the future, but really it's an inclination of your heart and should be taken seriously, because that idea, it just might just be what it is that brings you back to life, because it's a truth, it's a suppressed truth that you've either dismissed for, as I said, circumstantial reasons. So Neptune here is to break those circumstantial reasons down. No, you just have to know that you have one life to live. This is it. These streams are occurring. Your life is less than 100 years. These planets are here for thousands and millions of years. Get that. I think that's really the gist of what I wanted to talk about. This thing has changed me a lot. I'm gonna be real, like since my last, since one of the last eclipse readings that I did. Those were one of the most power readings I've done. Videos I've done. But any other video after that retrograde, it seems as though like molecules were moving and things were taking place. And I've gone through some stuff, and if I thought that I was purified before, God knows what I feel now. I feel like a vessel that's been sort of like poured out and is here again. Anyways, I feel closer to God more than ever. I feel like a rebirth process has really occurred in my life somehow. I'm still trying to digest that. But all the rest I have to say is that we got to be happy when things break the norm for us, because we might be contending with a circumstance or a thing that isn't really truly aligned with the deeper understandings about our heart. And I believe this is what the new moon in Gemini would probably want to convey. And that dream could be about just anything that Gemini related, you know what I'm saying? Where that falls in your chart, and that's why, you should really get yourself a chart. Whenever I do my astrology, I've grown up with tropical astrology, or I should say that's what I've learned the most, but I find it to be an accurate piece. I'm probably not ever going to be one of those people that is going to do a class. I don't do that. I enjoy my discussions. I think that they're helpful to people because they are happening in real time. And anyways, I hope that you are getting something amazing out of this video. These are the wonderful studies that I've done after studying astrology since 2007 until now. So it's been quite a journey. I've just used my life as this, and I really have seen or been able to uncover or to make sense of or to navigate just how my life is going. Anyways, please subscribe, just because it does encourage me that this is something that's useful to you, and I appreciate you, and I hope you have an amazing day. That is beautiful. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. Like the way that is. Yes. It's like a dream.